Hold on. We don't need HD. Get out of here, HD. So this is TheUnknown. He's a 3500 Junkrat on Hollywood. It's a loss. And let's see how he fucks up. Very lucky. Alright. Already, I don't like this for one reason, and one reason alone. Your gun is actually blocking the view of if there's a widow or not. As of right now, you need to know if there's a widow. You should have seen it. Because right now, you should be dead if there's a good widow in the game. But you had no idea what to do, how to do it. Always be watching.
Watch for the other one.
Personally, I would rather have you not do that first mine here. When you bounce up, shoot one shot, throw a mine, and sometimes you can get a person. It happens.
Okay, wait a minute.
I've done it multiple times. Even when they have an Orisa shield and everything. Now comes the fun part.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, good. So, we've talked about this briefly before. Almost all corners in Overwatch are like this. You have a corner. Here's the choke point. So on Hollywood, this is very verbatim. You have a choke point in Hollywood. The point is over here. Here is the corner. Now, almost every corner has a far side. And this far side allows you to flank. And the first thing you have to do through a choke point is get to the far side. You have to expand across it. You have to take up all this area. This happens on most maps. There's a corner, there's a far side. You gotta get across it. We can go over that multiple times. A little note on player psychology. This person, whenever two people play against each other, they're going to strafe parallel. Most of the time. Very rarely will people move towards or away from each other because it makes you very predictable. So these options are out of play. So what you should be doing is shooting on this lane or this lane. I'll mark them by the red. There's a lane right here between the two blue lines, and there's this lane. You kind of go, and this could just be accuracy. I mean, you're shooting here. You need to fill up these lanes. Alright, good kill. Okay. Okay, my favorite thing at this point in time, I think you do. By the way, I think your movements are fine here.
Get the healers up top, please.
There you go. Okay, so watch this. That's a big one.
Mercy res.
You have allies in there. Look, Reinhardt's doing work. You got to get in there. Good shot. Okay, so this is what I was afraid of. Your Reinhardt died, and he was the one really putting pressure on the team and keeping the whole team essentially safe. Since the Reinhardt was over here, putting pressure right here, that's the reason why the Hanzo was open here and your team was doing okay. So you came back here, you killed the Orisa and the Hanzo, but at the same time, you had 5 people, well, technically 4, because your Reinhardt was in here. You can kind of leave it to these guys to get killed by your other team, and then support the Reinhardt. That works.
Here, we got one.
Okay, so here's the bread and butter that I do. Throw a trap right here. Everyone falls for it, even Grandmasters. It happens. And then there's 2 lanes that are really important. So you got the box here. You got a box here. This lane is important. This bouncing. And then you can bounce it here over the car into that little doorway. These are the two important lanes that you need to know. Because that's where people will be. See? And right there, you just got a Zenyatta, because that is exactly where the supports stand. Okay. Trap that. There you go. And you got it. So right there, that's an underestimated move that you did right there, just to get a little bit of information. Now, again, if they have a Widow, don't. A good Widow will take off your head for the moment. Okay, you're already at a man disadvantage, so this is all very dangerous. Because right now, you're running the risk of being staggered. Also, I heard a Junkrat detonate his mine. He's probably popular with you. Okay, he's on the ground behind you. Alright, so you're still down one person. Your Tracer may have respawned, but your McCree just died. So you're still down a person. So all of this is very, very risky. If you die, you're just going to be a very big stagger. Look for the squishes. I think you were safe up there still. And that's where you're... Okay.
Then Discord. Mercy Discord.
Okay. So, whenever you want to give up high ground, make sure you have a reason to do it. You kind of just fell back randomly there. In fact, it was really weird because you're on the high ground, and you jumped to the, the roof of that one building, and then you backed off from there. So you kind of went midfield, and then you backed off where they could see you. It's just odd. Either just run away from the high ground to that the right flank and just escape safely. This was a very dangerous way. You kind of split the two. I would call this a greedy way to retreat because you're still attacking, which makes yourself more vulnerable. I would rather just avoid the stagger, go very safely, get back with your team, or stay up here and force someone else up here. I'm trying to think of the team they're running. I don't think they have a lot of vertical movement. They just have the Junkrat. So actually, high ground is incredibly valuable in this game.
Sniper.
Okay. So, I was going to say this, but it makes it even better. Where is the McCree going to be standing? Alright. 1. The McCree is going to be standing on this. That's one place he'll be. So that means deflect off of here, put shots onto him. The second place he'll be is between the health pack. It was like this. You got the couple boxes here. And he's gonna be right here, probably. You have to be able to see this without me drawing it. You really, really need creative visualization as any hero, but specifically you need it as Junkrat. I have no other words for you. You need to be able to see the level through walls. That's all there is to it. And then for good measure, you need to be able to at least think of 3 ways to hit this spot with grenades. If you want more, go 5. At that point, do that for enough, months, weeks, years, and you should be pretty good at ricocheting. But you should be able to see 3 different ways, 3 to 5 ways.
Sniper.
So you didn't need to jump here. If you wanted to hit someone on this, you could have just banked it off the wall and hit this. That would have kept you safe. Here's those boxes. If you needed to shoot those, You get them. Under the new patch, you wouldn't have got them. But you would have lived past the Widow.
My genius is finally recognized.
But overall, so good. So good so far. I mean, you're doing decent stuff. Alright, so they got a Widow. You got to watch out. Keep your head low. Your team needs to reset now.
We cannot stop now. Move the payload.
You're in a very dangerous situation. There you go. Back up more. Winston, land to your left. Ooh. Yep, and now you staggered your team by a long time. So that's right there is the disadvantage of hiding, is that if you hide for 10 seconds then you die, you're staggering your team by like 30 seconds by the end of it. There you go. Get up to that high ground. Keep pressure on the Junkrat. Cool. Alright. Again, you had 2 or 3 shots to hit him with, but you didn't ricochet at all.
Sleeper if you can. Oh, okay.
So because you didn't ricochet, you it's just a little more dangerous than you needed to be. I like this move. Someone's to your right. I agree.
Heal me, heal me, heal me! Get you one, get you one.
Going for the back lines. That was your fight to lose. But it is a good idea that if there's a Hanzo ult on either the offense or defense, Tire doesn't take damage from enemy Hanzo ults, so throwing your ult through the Tire, or throwing the Tire through the ultimate is a very good way to hide it.
Okay. Discord. What? How was you?
Okay, so this is a tough one. I'm gonna go over it, even though under the new patch, Genji would not get killed here. So at this point, yeah, essentially that second mine was pretty much spot on where you wanted. But don't forget you can throw it on the ground or the ceiling if Genji's right next to you. Now if he's touching your model, then you can't because he will deflect through your model. But if there's a little bit of space, you should be good. Hold up, Junkrat's Tower can't take damage from enemy Dragon Strikes. No, Dragon Strike does not do damage to buildings. Oh, that'd be a perfect time to tire. So, as soon as your team pushed in, that would have been the perfect time to ult.
Use nano on Tracer if you can.
Use your fucking ult.
Hey,
okay.
Hold on, I can touch point.
You've been holding that nano for like.
Nano Rat's doing some work. Passive. Basically killed Zarya, and you guys camp it. That's good. The only one thing I want to correct is you went... When your team pushed in through mid, it was actually a little bit ago. So first of all, this is a perfect end all. Not right now, I'll show you. It's right after you push this right flank. So, you killed the Junkrat ult, the Winston over there died. You needed to follow up this whole thing with more damage. But yeah, other than that, there was... Oh man, it was even sooner than this? Yeah, it was when you came up here. I get you want to be safe, but you're going to be more accurate from here and here. While you were running up this way, you weren't shooting, and you're kind of not really shooting now. You get a good shot there. But your ability to put pressure on this far away is not really there. It can be. They need to be engaged, and you kind of got to have your good shots, and it's tough to land shots this far away. But be careful when flanking. Remember, it takes time. And that's less time you're not putting damage on the chain.
I hear you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Widow.
Alright, if you heard a Widow, you can put a trap essentially anywhere here. And then you walk down the staircase and you can kind of peek because the trap will absorb the headshot. Yeah, so essentially you put a trap right there and that will give you a better angle on people that are there. Yeah, and you're going to Junkrat too, so it's best not to stay in that hallway. Something's on your right flank. Yep, there is. You need health? You that low? Hold on. Oh! It was his second, it was his other shot that got you. Off the car.
We're just letting that Widow pick us off.
I'll ban him. Oh, it's right there. Cool. You heard him. Good shots. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Your trap. Let's see if he moves it. So again, your angles, your lines of shooting are right here and right here. Usually the left and right of the cart are really good places to shoot. You're gonna get some odd bounces on top of the car, which could be good, which could be bad.
Widow, right? Left side.
Alright, they got Widow hacks. So, best to get out of there.
He's up top.
Yeah, a lot of Junkrats have this issue where they just run at people when they try to shoot them. With the Widow hacks, and then the monkey aggressing on you, you kind of got to get back. I know you try to save your Widow, but she's gonna die. If the Winston gets on her, it's all over. There you go. It's actually an important kill. That's a very important kill. Now you heard the Junkrat. Also, she got res, so the Mercy's over here. You had a shot right here, this wall.
My genius is finally recognized.
You could have gotten that one. Because that's a very oddly angled wall.
My ultimate ability is ready.
Just fall on it. So yeah, just fall in the cart like that. You don't always gotta mine jump. Mine jumping is actually slower if you just want to fall down 2 feet. Cool. And then reset trap. Perfect. So far your action isn't bad, but it's definitely your positioning. You have a habit of going a little bit too far forward at times. When you get better and better and better and you start fighting, it looks like this Widow's decent. You have to start respecting sight lines. Right. So now you don't want to be too aggressive. Okay, now where's the cart? So here's the thing, if you want to rotate onto the supports, you're going to have to go right about now. Because that walkway is right there. You're going to drop right behind the cart. That's where the supports should be. That's where Orisa's ult's going to be too. Yep.
Orisa's one, Orisa one. Orisa one left side.
Alright, your team is dead. You're pushing through stuff so quickly, I don't even think you know what's going on. So, why I don't like doing kill cam, I have it as an option enabled. But if you just wait the 8 seconds not looking at combat, you're looking at who killed you, you're not getting the most up-to-date information, and you can learn a lot from your death. You could be watching other people get a full 360 view. Don't even worry about her. What you gotta be going for the tanks or the back lines right now. So yeah, just avoid the Mercy. I mean, if you can hit her, you can hit her, but the problem is Mercy heals so quick, you actually have to hit 2 shots pretty quick in succession to actually kill her. So let's skip ahead again. Skip ahead again, come on. Good.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Supercharger powering up.
attackers incoming.
So again, watch for the Widow. And you don't have to shoot this high up. You can shoot essentially right here, and you can get to the left and right of this car. These are, again, lanes you have to find in the game. Junkrat's all about finding choke points where choke points don't exist. So, when you're shooting right here, you're shooting way over them. Oops, wrong button.
Widowmaker.
Yep. And that's why I usually hold corners pretty tight.
Takes a licking. It's on ticket. This bomb's for you. There we go.
You gotta keep going forward.
point, on point.
Wait. They kept the first point, they win. I think you just realized that.
Fuck my life, dude.
So yeah, just a slight misplay on your part. You kind of treated it like they could cap it and you're fine. But that wasn't what the game was about at that point in time. So that happens. What is this? Am I going crazy? Do I normally have these white bars on the side? I do, don't I? Who's in queue? What does it matter? That's why you gotta watch the whole thing. It's called marketing. So, with accuracy or mechanical skill action, biggest thing is look for lanes. To look for lanes. And by lanes, I just mean essentially choke points where choke points don't exist. Remember, if two people are fighting and they're both looking this way, they're going to essentially move in this lane. Very rarely will they go towards each other. So look for those. Again, same thing with the cart or any cars. Like the first point in Hollywood, the car will be right here, and essentially the lanes are to the left and right of the car. Any cart on a payload map, the left and right of those are very easy to hit targets. You will most likely hit people if you hit those. So look for those. Overall, sometimes you're shooting a little bit too low, I noticed. You're kind of like shooting at people's feet. I don't like that. Also, your concussive mines were a little less accurate than needed. Again, this was old patch, so the new patch, you're going to have a little bit of issues. Positioning. Like a lot of Junkrats, don't run forward. I'll just say don't chase the target. You did that more than a couple times. When you're shooting at someone, Junkrats have a habit of running up to point blank, and then they die. And they're like, what the hell happened? It's like, well, you kind of gave up all of your long range ability, and you just kind of ran at them and you died. Because you ran into 2 or 3 people. That's kind of what happens. Abilities, trap more. No one ever traps enough. Whenever you're on high ground, trap the low ground. It's your best chance of trapping people. Also, with the mine, you will have to be more accurate. That's all there is to it now. A lot of your mines were needing something to be desired. So there's no hint to that, just kind of lead them. Also, logistics, I would also put this one in, where if your team dies, run or hide until your team re-engages. If you stop hiding and attack before your team engages, they will look at you and kill you. Now, if something presents itself and you get an easy kill, do it. But don't reveal yourself faster than you need to. This is a very big deal in Overwatch right now. It'll always be a big deal in Overwatch. More on the ladder, less on the pro scene. But if your team gets wiped, die. Just get with your team. If you hide for 15 seconds to get with your team, and you jump out 1 second early, and you die, you have wasted the 15 seconds to get your team there. You have died. That's 8 more seconds. And then there's like the 8 seconds you need to get back into combat. You've wasted over a half a minute to 45 seconds of the 4 minutes you have to take the point. You almost lose a quarter of your time. So, you have to do one of them. That's it. Information. You're getting up to that Master to Grandmaster rank. Respect. Heroes. You have to respect the hero. Don't play against the player, play against the hero. I said this a long time ago, and I haven't repeated myself in a while, and it looks like people are making mistakes again. Play against the hero, don't play against the player. You were up against a Widow. She was decent. She was hitting some shots. So don't jump at her. Don't just jump in the air for no reason like you did 2 or 3 times. You're going to get shot every single time. That's because Widows can hit air targets super easy. Now, maybe at the lower levels they can't, but you're getting to that point where they can start doing it. You have to play against the hero, not against the player. It's the #1 cause for building bad habits. You're like, oh, and this is why Junkrat is seen as overpowered right now, is that before, people didn't respect Junkrat, and Junkrats didn't hit a lot. So they would close into a closed-in area on him. A very closed-in area. They're like, oh, Junkrats can't hit me. And then Junkrats started hitting people. They're like, hey, he's overpowered. Especially with the double mind. They're like, oh, they're way overpowered. You can just kill me from close range. Well, that's because you were playing against people that weren't playing them well. If someone can land their shots, don't go fucking close range against a Junkrat. If you're right next to him, you're going to die. He can pretty much outburst anyone else in the game. Few exceptions exist. You have to play against the hero, not the player. That's all there is to it. But I think that's it right now. Along with things I said in the during the review, I think that's pretty much the basics. Yeah, I think you're doing well. You definitely have rooms to improve on. If anything, with you, I would look for lanes. Your accuracy is alright, but you're not filling the busy spots in the map. So that's what I would work on. Try to find those invisible lanes.